Hello, Sayed. Thanks for joining the call.
Hi, Kamal. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, great. So, anybody who's listening this conversation, सैयद हुसैनी मेड्सटाउन के फाउंडर हैं। मेड्सटाउन एक ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां से वो 30 मिनट्स के अंदर दैट दे प्रॉमिस दे डिलीवर द मेडिसिन्स फ्रॉम द लोकल फार्मेसीज। सैयद, मेरा सबसे पहला सवाल ये है कि इंडिया में, अगर मैं गलत नहीं हूँ, इट हैज द लार्जेस्ट फार्मेसी चेन प्रोबब्ली आई मे से। अगर मैं स्टोर्स की बात करूं, आई गेस एवरी 100-500 मीटर में डिस्टेंस पे एक फार्मेसी है।
Right.
तो ये मिड्स टाउन का आइडिया, इज इट बिकॉज यू वांटेड टू बिल्ड समथिंग, और इज इट देयर वाज अ रियल प्रॉब्लम एज सच दैट यू रियलाइज्ड?
So, Kamal, I would say, there are not just pharmacies in every 100 to 500 meters. There are more than 9.5 lakh registered pharmacies in entire India, excluding the ones which are not yet registered but they're still running businesses. So, I'm not going to talk about them. So, the reason Medstown came into the picture was pretty simple. In India, I was just sort of like way back in 22, okay, after pandemic, when we were, normal, things started getting normal. So there was a scarcity of medicines, right?
करेक्ट।
And I would say after the hospitals, nurses, I would say the pharmacies were the other frontline heroes in simple words again. But then again, people could not find medicines. There was one thing. The other thing is, I would say, anybody who's going out to buy a pharmacy, sorry, going to a pharmacy to buy medicines, they don't get medicines in one go. All right, 50% of the time they visit one or two pharmacies. So what we did, we wanted to bridge the gap between the user and the pharmacy. So we started working on it since 22. Okay, it's been like 1.5 साल से ज्यादा हो गया हम लोग. We kept on building, and this is the final product. Now we have like more than 700 partners in Hyderabad. We are operational here. We are making money again. We are delivering medicines. I would say 95% of the medicines we deliver within 30 minutes. 5% because there's a human error, of course. So there's no shame in accepting it. But yeah, we are still working on it.
ओके, ओके। सो उसी पे मेरा एक सवाल है। आपका प्लेटफॉर्म प्रॉमिस करता है, एज यू सेड, दैट 30 मिनट्स में मोस्ट ऑफ द मेडिसिन हैज बीन डिलीवर्ड। पर्सनली जो आपने भी बोला, जब जब मैं भी मेडिसिन खरीदने जाता हूँ, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ वेरी बेसिक, कोई एक पर्टिकुलर मेडिसिन जो कि 500 ग्राम में ढूंढ रहा हूँ, and that is not available, then I may have to hop on the multiple pharmacies. In that case, if I'm not mistaken, what you claim is Medstown claim करता है कि बॉस ये आपके local pharmacies. So how do you ensure कि भैया जो medicines available नहीं है, it is there? Is it like आपका खुद का भी एक warehouse है that is being followed by most of the Q-commerce or the quick commerce or the Zepto and so on and so forth?
No, we have a strict policy. The reason we started Medstown was to help out the local pharmacies, honestly speaking. And we don't have a warehouse. We don't operate that way. So, just आपका question है कि, for example, I go to a pharmacy one, I don't get all the medicine. You go to the pharmacy two.
Okay.
So the way we have designed the algorithm and the application is very simple. For example, you're sitting here, you place an order. It goes to your nearest pharmacy. All right. And if in case that particular store doesn't have all the four medicines, he has an option to choose two or three medicines he has. The remaining would actually go to the next nearest pharmacy or the pharmacy which actually sells it. So this way, our delivery partner would actually pick the medicines from two or three pharmacies and bring it to your doorstep. Now here, in case कोई medicine available नहीं है in our partner pharmacies, we definitely let the users know like this specific medicines. That's a very rare case, 0.001%. कि कोई pharmacy के पास कोई medicine ना हो. Again, if that's the situation, we definitely let the customer know like this is a specific medicine not available. It would take a couple of minutes more or a couple of hours. Meanwhile, we are delivering the remaining medicines. So that's how we actually operate.
Okay, so जो अवेलेबल है, जो नहीं अवेलेबल है, you make sure कि वो मतलब थोड़े से डिस्टेंस फार्मेसी से आ जाए, और इफ नॉट देन कस्टमर बीइंग इन्फॉर्म्ड अबाउट इट।
Exactly. So I would say 100%. If you take any specific city जैसा हैदराबाद हो गया अभी, तो 100% any prescription medicine is available. तो हमारा जो cluster of pharmacies है and the way हमारा algorithm designed है, तो अगर for example you take Crocin, okay, so there is a pharmacy that is actually selling good Crocins. So if you want a crocin, the system would actually assign the order directly to that pharmacy who is good in selling crocins. So that analytics, that data, reading is actually done in the backend with the softwares and the systems. So yes, I would say 100% we can procure all the medicines, but there might be a delay in certain case of rare medicines.
Okay. So इसी पे मेरा follow up सवाल ये है कि the reason I'm highlighting about the fact is because we are talking about the pharma as an industry. One, it's very regulated. Second, it's very sensitive. So कई बार होता है कि सपोज मुझे कफ है, मुझे एक मेडिसिन चाहिए, मे बी आई से कुछ कोई मेडिसिन चाहिए, स्पेसिफिकली अवेलेबल नहीं है. सो जब अगर मैं स्टोर पे जाता हूँ, तो जो फार्मेसी या फिर जो फार्मा बंदा है, मतलब जो भी स्टोर पे है, ही विल से भैया ये मेडिसिन नहीं है, आप ये ले लो.
Right.
उस केसेस में हाउ डू यू डील अबाउट इट? बिकॉज एज आई सेड, medicines might not be available which the consumer is looking for. So in that case, do you provide or does your algorithm give an option to choose कि बॉस ये मेडिसिन, आई मीन इसके इसका इसका एक alternate ये है, and then
Substitute.
probably opt for substitute. Yeah, that's the right word. So substitute ये you may opt for it because this is not available, is it?
Sorry. So basically, how the system works, as I said, कि 99.99% specific medicine मिल जाएगा. But then again, अगर in case कोई medicine available नहीं है, अगर उसका substitute available है, so the application is built in such a way कि the respective pharmacist can actually inform the user through our app, of course, कि इसका substitute ये है. So,
Okay.
but then again, I would say कि that actually happens based on the prescription because the formula has to be the same. And of course, if it's a substitute, the formula is 100% matching. So yeah, the pharmacists can definitely approach the users and inform them. But वो usually अभी तक तो एक भी case नहीं हुआ. For the last month, we are operational for just 1 month, and
Okay.
we have closed more than 1,100 orders so far. But there are like zero cancellations, zero refunds, zero negative feedbacks, and zero substitutes given to the customers because हमारा platform इसीलिए बना है कि ताकि जो medicine आपको चाहिए वो आपको मिले. Even here, there's other thing, अगर आपका कोई specific pharmacy है, you want the medicines from this specific pharmacy, you can choose it from our app. तो order directly वो एक ही pharmacy को जाएगा.
Okay. So मैं वापस से उसी पे hang on होता हूँ because you used a word called prescription. इंडिया में बहुत सारी बीमारियों के we look for the generic medicine. उस केस में हमारे पास आपके prescriptions नहीं होता है. उस केस में, so for any order that customer place, do you ask for the prescription or is it like for generic medicine you can place randomly?
So basically, there are three types of procurements, or we can say supplies of products we supply. The first one is the OTC, over the counter. Shampoo हो गया, Pampers हो गया, XYZ. Prescription की जरूरत नहीं. In medicines, there are two types of medicine. The first one is a non-prescription medicine and is a prescription medicine. Non-prescription medicines are already marked in our system. So users को जरूरत नहीं है कि they have to, add a prescription. But for the prescription medicines, the system would actually not proceed further unless until you upload a prescription. Now, if, I would definitely say you would come up with like, agar banda aage se picture click करके upload कर दे, how do you authenticate it? So in prescription medicines, the pharmacists actually verify the prescription and then they accept the order. So it's an authentication that's actually happening from the pharmacy side. Plus, we have our own in-house pharmacists who actually do an audit continuously every day on regular orders. Every order, I must say, कि सही medicines पहुंचे नहीं पहुंचे. So there are like two-way authentication that is happening from our end.
Okay. With respect to दूसरा ये सवाल था कि मेडिसिन जो कि पर्सनली मैंने काफी नोटिस किया बिकॉज एज ए ह्यूमन यू कीप विजिटिंग द फार्मेसीज एंड ऑल, वहां पे जो मेडिसिन होते हैं काफी जल्दी, आई नॉट से काफी जल्दी बट कई बार अनअवेलेबल होते हैं एंड द सेम टाइम स्टॉक खत्म हो जाता है या फिर, सो हाउ फ्रीक्वेंटली Medstown update those data? Does it happens in real time जहां pharmacies खुद अपडेट करते हैं those data, बॉस ये डोलो है खत्म हो गया 500 mg, so it will pop up on the Medstown platform as such?
No. That actually happens in the B2B segment, wherein people, the pharmacies can actually update the CRM. So right now we are just B2C. Yeah, in the next 6 to 12 months, we are coming up with a B2B platform so that we can cater our cluster of pharmacies with inventory. वहां पे live होगा. But अभी जो हमारा B2C segment है, जो अभी हम अगर सॉफ्टवेयर या हमारा ऐप लाइव है, इसमें फार्मेसीज अपडेट करेंगे. सो दे एक्चुअली गेट अ नोटिफिकेशन कि ये मेडिसिन चाहिए. तो दे एक्चुअली चेक कि ये मेडिसिन अवेलेबल है ही नहीं है ऑफलाइन एट देयर ओन एंड देन दे चूज द मेडिसिन एंड एक्सेप्ट इट. So right now, this is what is happening with Medstown. But in the back end, as I said, we are developing a B2B CRM, or I can say a software, which is integrated with our own app. ताकि for example, अब हमें पास 700 pharmacies है हैदराबाद में. अगर ये 700 pharmacies को क्रोसिन चाहिए, all right, I would just say, say Combiflame, it is manufactured by Sanofi. So this 700 pharmacies, if they need Combiflames or manufactured by Sanofi, we are going to be the B2B partner for them so that we get the medicines, the bulk order from Sanofi directly and procure all our pharmacies. That way, real time hoga, but abhi, it's completely by the pharmacies.
So it's gonna be B2B2C model.
Soon, yes.
Okay. 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 So because I think so far अभी तक जैसा मैंने मार्केट में देखा था अभी तक quick delivery was largely in food as a category, and then groceries and so on and so forth. I think medicine was one of the segment that was left out. Probably Medstown is filling in those gaps. But at the same time, recently एक news आया था कि Swiggy is trying to partner with, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, PharmaEasy. स्विगी फार्मा इजी के पार्टनरशिप में 10 मिनट में, जो कि जेप्टो का भी यूएसपी है, जेप्टो भी अपने आप को एक इस तरह से प्रमोट करता है कि भाई आपको मैं 10 मिनट में डिलीवरी. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू द स्विगी बीइंग पार्टनर विद द फार्मा इजी एंड डिलीवरिंग इन 10 minutes, that clear cut says कि they are gonna have a warehouse, because other than that it's very difficult to operate that way. Do you see it's a major challenge is going to be to Midtown or the major head-on competition? And the same time, how safe it is? Because ये खाना तो है नहीं, ये ग्रोसरी है नहीं, कुछ इधर उधर हो गया तो चल गया, मेडिसिन है भाई, इधर उधर हो गया तो सीधा.
Yeah, I would say, my co-founder, I have two co-founders, Anis Sultana and Talib Askari. Okay, Anis, she's my wife and she's my partner. She takes care of the operations. Talib is a genius with the technology. So I would say कि 10 minute. I'm not going to talk about any other competitor, because way back in 22 जब हम लोग start करे थे, so there was nobody in entire India who was a medicine quick commerce company. So we were the first one, and till date I can proudly say like we are the first one in medicine quick commerce. But 30 minutes is something after following the regulations. I wouldn't say कि Swiggy है, pharmacy से, they are collaborating and then they're going to deliver in 10 minutes. That's amazing, from a human point of view. 10 minute में medicine आई, that's awesome. But from my business point of view, I would say it is possible only for the OTC products, which are not consumable. Sorry?
Which product you mentioned?
OTC, over the counter. Yeah,
Over the
OTC,
counter.
पैम्पर्स हो गया, शैम्पू हो गया, एनीथिंग यू कैन नॉट कंज्यूम, जो कुछ आप लगा नहीं सकते, which is not a medication.
So that won't call as a medication, right? Those are not medicines as a medicine.
Those are not medicines, of course. So I would say, no, I'm just talking about my point of view. 10 minute में I can do that, because उसमें ज्यादा रेगुलेशन कुछ है ही नहीं. एक्सपिरेशन डेट चेक करना रहेगा, बैच नंबर देखना होगा, एंड डिलीवरी होगा. But for medicine, the reason we did it for 30 minutes is because we did a trial run 2 years ago. Okay, can we do it? So our average delivery time was 27 minutes, and almost 100% were compliant. Because medicines is like, for me, I would say, because I'm from the pharmaceutical background, I work with Fortune 500 companies like Quintas and Paraxel. I know, if there is there's like 0% mistake. We cannot afford 0.00001% of human error also.
Okay.
So we cannot rely on AI ho gaya, analytics ho gaya. So a human interference is definitely required. And I would say it's not a threat to us. I would say it's a healthy competition again. and that is going to boost Medstown to a better and higher level.
So possibly may, I mean there may be chances Swiggy खुद ही बोलेगा भैया Medstown को मैं acquire कर लेता हूँ, this is the
I don't know, but yeah, let's see.
they may propose you because that's how these companies organically try to grow themselves.
Yeah, that's how these billion-dollar companies actually grow. That's how Zepto got Blinkit
Correct.
got Ubers, and that's how they grow.
Okay. So now coming back to again quick commerce, and then so there is also a static says over the last few years almost 2 lakh stores has been closed because of this quick commerce as an altogether industry. And
Right.
you also coming into the something, then Swiggy is coming. If अगर Swiggy आ रहा है तो I'm sure there are big bazaar हो गया, आपके बाकी companies भी आगे, because when they see the market they just run. And companies like Zomato, Swiggy, Practo, maybe the Tata MG, they are sitting on a cash pile, whether we agree it or not. बहुत कैश है इनके पास, फंडिंग तो भर भर के है. अब जब इनके पास इतने पैसे आते हैं तो कोई nobody wants to leave their market or nobody wants to miss out any business opportunity. Now, when everybody is running, do you see it's another challenge जहाँ पे pharmacies के store बंद होने शुरू होंगे, either similar impact as store or grocery store?
I would say, this was pretty unfortunate कि 2 लाख से ज़्यादा, that 2 लाख तो official number है, they got closed. I would say this is good for the Indian consumers, but bad for the Indian retail market. So, as I said, कि 2020 में जब हम लोग start करे थे, our main core vision was, to play around, or I must say, कि, with holding hands with the local retailers and the local pharmacies, हम business करे. Because end of the day, if I open my own warehouse, all I'm going to make is extra 5 to 6%. Okay, 5 से 6% के लिए there are two things. The first thing is huge capital to run a warehouse, and uh, I really didn't feel any sense, when the Indian local pharmacies, 9.5 lakh hai. Okay, these pharmacies are huge, and on the other hand, even if I would say, any big player comes in, the 100% they're going to come out in a warehouse model so far. And I think we are the only one in India who is in the local retail partnership model right now. So no matter how many competitors would come, I would say Medstown is there for the local pharmacy so that they don't shut down. And it's a healthcare business. It's not a kirana shop. There is no way a local pharmacy gets a threat. They're going to lose some business, but yeah, definitely they're going to survive.
Okay, okay. So it's a to an extent a loss in business, but it's not a ramp down the business.
Of course, unless until those local pharmacies are partnered with Medstone, they would actually have good sales in business. अगर नहीं किया तो it's a loss for them. So yeah.
So I guess इसमें एक दूसरा perspective ये भी बनता है कि because when it comes to the medicine delivery, in that case, if pharmacies focus on more of a medicines, those are not easily available. I think that may be a real value add if I look at from the consumer perspective. And
Right.
because when it comes to the online, I think no matter what, online platform ka major preference to generic medicines hoga because that's easy and that's largely available. Correct
Because
me.
right now there are more than 300 million Indians who order medicines online, and they get delivered in 24 to 48 hours.
You mean to say 300 million?
300 million. This is the official data by the INC 42. This is official data by the Government of India statistics for FY 23-24. Okay, so 300 million, I guess, is approximately more than 30 crores, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course, yeah.
तो 30 करोड़ 140 करोड़ में से 30 करोड़ लोग अगर ऑनलाइन मेडिसिन ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, ये लोग को 1 से 2 दिन में डिलीवरी है. 24 to 48 hours is the minimum people do it. So bringing them in 30 minutes or 1 hour is a major achievement, and I can say there would definitely be a big shift from this 24-hour delivery to a quick commerce for the people who are already ordering. So 30 करोड़ जनता तो already हमारी कस्टमर है. अब रिमेनिंग 110 करोड़ जो है वो भी आ जाएगी, बिकॉज 110 करोड़ जनता जो है लोकल फार्मेसी से खरीदती है.
110 करोड़ आए ना आए, क्योंकि because 700 700, no, not sorry, I think 70 million is something that was figure that they have a penetration with respect to smartphone. So jiske paas smartphone, of course they are the target customer, certainly.
Of course, definitely. And the way we partner with the local pharmacy, we have our branding and so on. Even if the people are actually going to the local pharmacy, they actually scan and they automatically become our end customer. So it's a
Okay.
win-win situation for the Medstown and the local pharmacy.
True, true. So, Sayed, abhi वापस से, because again I'm referring to the regulation, healthcare, pharmacy. There was a, again going back to the same Swiggy wala news. उसमें एक government body था. I'll read out the name. It's called as a All India Organization of Chemists and Drugs. उन्होंने एक red flag raise किया था because of the online things are coming very rampant, and that too in medicines. There's a very high chances of that medicine may be sold out without verification, and medicine can be also sold out through those are expired rather. And there is a prominent example jahan pe expired medicine has been sold out, not only in India, but this Indian medicines has been sold out to Africa. And being in the same industry, you must be knowing it.
Yeah, I know that, Yes, yeah, you can continue.
Yeah. So I wanted to understand from the same angle, because अब हर कोई आपके हर हर मेडिसिन के व्हाट यू से मेडिसिन को जा जा के देखता नहीं है कि वेदर एक्सपायरी है कि नहीं. इट्स ओनली एप्लीकेबल बिकॉज वेदर वी एग्री इट और नॉट, not everybody look at the expiry date, not everybody. So
Yeah.
in that, how do you see that one? Because again, expiry medicine, there is also a consideration, typical Indian mindset, यार एक्सपायरी ही हुआ है ना, इसका मतलब एक हफ्ता और चल जाएगा. एक्सपायर मतलब एक्सपायर होता नहीं है, मतलब एक हफ्ता इसकी एप्लीकेबल है या फिर एक महीने एप्लीकेबल है. How do you see that this might be taken as a granted, if not taken as a granted, but can be misused by a company which are operating or which are delivering medicines online?
So I would say, the couple of things, as you mentioned, the All India Organization for Chemists and Drugs, they know and they try to make sure like the local pharmacies follow the regulations. Okay, but still, there are like 5% of the pharmacies in India who don't follow the regulations, and the DCA, the Drug Control Authority, they do a random check here and there, especially here in Hyderabad, Telangana. The DCA, they have raided so many local pharmacies. If their licenses are correct or renewed, if the pharmacist is authentic, if the medicines they are supplying are genuine, and the source of medicine where they're buying from are genuine, and if the medicines sold are being billed, and if the inventory that they procure or they buy from the distributor are also billed. So what we do as basically is, we are backed by the government of Telangana. Okay, we have partnered with them, and most recently we also partnered with STPI, which is a Software Technology Park of India via Guwahati. So the first thing what we planned is, we wanted to be friends with the government of India, because end of the day, भाई दिल है हिंदुस्तानी है और हम यहीं पर धंधा करना है. तो जब तक गवर्नमेंट आपके साथ होगी, यू कैन डू. प्लस इट्स अ रेगुलेटेड मार्केट, इट्स अ हाईली रेगुलेटेड मार्केट. अब यहाँ पे सूडो मेडिसिन जो है, आई वुड से कि वो तो फार्मासिस्ट की जो लोकल फार्मेसी है उसकी जिम्मेदारी है. Okay, where he's getting the medicine, unless until they are buying it from us. Because if they are buying it from us, we have a blockchain technology which we are building from the manufacturer to the customer, to the pharmacy, to the user. Everything is tracked and genuine. This is one way we do it. The other way, I would say, key uh, the pharmacies we onboard, we do a compliance check, we do a regulation check. So we don't onboard any Tom, Dick, and Harry. The license they give, we verify it from the DCA. So they have a portal given to us. We verify if their licenses are good. The pharmacy license देते हैं, वो pharmacist का भी हम लोग review करते हैं. After that, we onboard them. They can onboard us on 2 minutes, but then to give them a full compliance check, we actually do it in 24 hours, so that the pharmacy is genuine, authentic, and they are not into any malpractices. And if in case they are, because I would say, while onboarding pharmacies in the last 1 year, we have rejected more than 400 pharmacies. based on the regulations and compliance, because there was a small baby red flag we rejected. We're like, आप 100 crore का धंधा भी कर रहे हो, we don't want to do business with you. I guess one red flag from one specific pharmacy is a big red flag on us. And end of the day, it's a business. It's not about money over here. आप लोग को दवाई दे रहे हो, like you're giving them health. People come to you with a hope कि भाई मुझे सेहत चाहिए, I want to become healthy, and you cannot play around. But I would say there's still a gray area. And yeah, I would say, the more the government would actually collaborate and help with us, and the more we are collaborating with the government, it would be easy to, kill those counterfeit medicines, the pseudo medicines, and make sure that pharmacies are actually following the regulations. There's a program, there's a workshop that we are planning with the Drug Control Authority of Telangana to educate the pharmacies, to educate their people, क्योंकि वहां पे जो बंदा काम करता है वो 10th फेल होगा, 12th फेल होगा, ग्रेजुएट होगा, पर उसको रेगुलेशंस के बारे में ज्यादा पता नहीं है. तो like how Zomato is actually partnering with NSC and helping their delivery partners to, have some financial literacy. We are partnering with the Drug Control Authority of Telangana and helping the local pharmacies and their workers with pharmaceutical regulations and that literacy, so that things get minimized. And it will definitely take a long time, sir.
Okay. So, all right. So again, I wanted to talk about the gray area जो कि आपने highlight किया. Now, going back to the same analogy or the Jugaadu option that I was doing, again, Zomato, Swiggy, भी काफी कुछ regulations हैं उसमें, and since they are in the market for the last more than a decade now, they have a lot of things in place before they onboard anybody. But despite of it, because आप हैदराबाद में based हो, I'll take an example of Paradise Biryani. पैराडाइज बिरयानी के नाम से एक शॉप होगा जिसका क्लाउड किचन चलता होगा किसी इंटीरियर एरिया में, एंड दे माइट नॉट बी द ऑथेंटिक वन. नाउ कमिंग बैक टू दैट, मेकिंग सर्टिफिकेट्स. इंडिया में जब पासपोर्ट नकली बन जाते हैं, उसके बेसिस पर लोग ट्रैवल करते हैं, तो मेकिंग सर्टिफिकेट्स इज नॉट अ बिग डील ना. खाने के मामले में चल जाता है, बट जब आती है मेडिसिन की बात, एज आई सेड, इट डील्स डायरेक्टली विद द लाइफ, एंड दैट्स and it's been recognized by you because भाई बहुत ज़्यादा regulated है. How do you see this? I genuinely want to know as an open question, because I personally see there is a gray area, and onboarding myself as a medicine seller, despite I do not have a register, because I just see that cost I have some knowledge, और India में तो ऐसे knowledge वाले भरे पड़े. So how do you see it? It's a major challenge and funny too.
Challenge. And trust me, the government of India is actually trying to do a lot about it, but I would say they're not. I wouldn't say like they're not giving the 100%, but कोई चीज अगर आपको फिक्स करनी है या कोई चीज आपको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, तो there has to be consistency. Okay, आप it's like you're training a baby कि right hand से खाना खाओ, left hand से ना खाओ. एक दिन में बोलोगे, they won't listen. You have to train him for years. Every time he ate, you have to tell him right hand se khana khao. So this is something when you actually doing business, especially in the pharmacy, as you said, regulation both hai. The government of India should have more checks. What we do, as I said, कि हम लोग तो compliance check करते हैं. If we find any small red flag, कि कुछ pharmacies, there are many pharmacies in India who actually take a pharmacist का license लेते हैं, they start running a business. Pharmacy बाहर कहीं country में काम कर रहा होगा, या कोई और job कर रहा होगा, या कुछ और business में, या कोई MNC में काम कर रहा होगा. The pharmacy का sorry क्या
Sorry, but yeah, मैं personally कहीं को जानता हूँ. Those who does not fit, because उन्होंने सिर्फ दिया pharma किया, they got the license and somebody else is operating the shop.
Exactly. So as I said, while we actually do a compliance check with the local pharmacies, we make sure जिसका license है वो बंदा काम कर रहा हो. ठीक है? That is a very small red flag, but it has a huge impact. If that person is not available, their drug license is invalid. as per the government and the regulation norms. So we make sure ki wo ho. As I said, in the last 1 year, not even 8 months, we ourselves couldn't onboard more than 400 pharmacies. So that's a very big number. That's a very big number for us. So we could have been, like 1100 plus or 1200 plus pharmacies so far, but we are sitting at 700 because we want to make sure कि ये follow हो रहा है. Plus, we are in active discussions with the DCA so that they are doing the regulations check everything, and if they want any data of any specific pharmacy, they can get it from us. तो एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स अ हेल्थ एंड इट्स अ रेगुलेटेड मार्केट, और हम चाहते हैं कि जो लोकल फार्मेसीज, चाहे वो मजबूरी में जुगाड़ करके धंधा कर रहे हैं या दे आर वेरी स्मार्ट टू डू इट, we just want them to follow the regulations. The many people who are doing it in the gray area, but we are trying to fix it. But then again, I would say it would easily take 5 to 10 years with consistent help with the government.
Okay, okay. Now, I again wanted to hang on the same conversation about the malpractice. हमारे पास numerous example हैं जहाँ पे pharmaceutical company has been a victim तो नहीं बोलेंगे, but they intentionally did or maybe not, may not be doing the malpractices. Whether
Yeah.
on the quality, whether they compromise on a lot of factors, and there have had been several news. In fact, WHO ने भी इसको recently red flag किया था हरियाणा के 2-3 कंपनी से.
बहुत है. गुजरात में तो I wouldn't say names. Gujarat is the head
Of
hub, I can say, of pseudo medicines.
I wanted to talk on the factor that where the Medstown can actually leverage. Now we are talking about the data. Going by that, as Zomato or Swiggy, they play around with the data, right? Now you have a bunch of data, and basis you will see a pattern, correct? So 40 to 45 age maybe for with these are the symptoms, these are the medicine that has been bought. So that means मुझे ज्यादा बीमारियों का नाम नहीं पता. Let's take an example of cough. Maybe 40 to 45 age में एक specific area में हैदराबाद के वहां पे इस एज में आपके इस टाइम ड्यूरेशन पे या फिर विंटर में इस टाइप के लोगों ने ये मेडिसिन बेसिस ऑन द प्रिस्क्रिप्शन ऑर्डर किया है. Now you have the data. Is it something that Medstown also start pushing those recommendations? Boss, these are the things that you should buy, or these are the things that you should have to keep yourself safe. Not because one is, of course, it's a business model. There's no deny. धंधा कभी धंधा गंदा होता है, but धंधा होता है. Second
Right.
thing is you might be also being bribed by pharmacy companies. Boss, because you have onboarded a lot of things, you have a leverage over the customer, you have a leverage over a lot of things. So first question, is it something that is capable? Of course, there is a capability. Second, have you been bribed or have you been reached out by the pharmaceutical companies for such things?
Right now, I would say I will answer the last question. We are not that big right now, but yeah, hopefully, once we have like 500,000, 500,000 pharmacies, I can completely agree. I can agree we might get bribed with the customer by the manufacturers. That's secondary. We would see when that happens, and the main reason, I'm not gonna say ki I'm from a very filthy rich family and I'm here for gyan or
To the novel.
I'm not a philanthropist कि मैं ये सिर्फ ऊपर वाले के नाम पे कर रहा हूँ. नहीं, I'm making business. I'm here to make money, but I'm gonna make money ethically, and I'm gonna make less money on a higher volume of orders.
Okay.
Now, जैसा आपने कहा कि I'm gonna push notifications and all that. No, what we do actually, we analyze the data, because I would say in the last 1 year, okay, we have a data of like there was a sequence, there was a season, a lot of people in Hyderabad had viral infection, throat viral infection. So what we did, we actually pushed notifications to the pharmacies. Ki bhai, this is something that is happening in specific areas, to be on a safer side and to procure, or to help your local people in your area. Make sure you have this kind of inventory. Abhi hum log supply nahi kar rahe, otherwise we would have suggested them. Secondly, there was a season when लोगों को what do you say? आँखों की वो, I just missed that name. They goes to the ophthalmologist, the eye doctor. Conjunctivitis. There was a
Conjunct.
time people had a lot of conjunctivitis in Hyderabad. Suddenly, anybody is wearing black glasses. Kya hua? Conjunctivitis, conjunctivitis. So we actually used that analytical data and gave it to the pharmacies, not to the customers. कि भाई तुम stock रखो. This is something that is happening. Keep it low, keep it more. It doesn't matter, but then again, keep it. So we are using that data to help our pharmacies procure it to the customer. Because at the end of the day, हमें पता है कि customer हमारे पास से ही order करेगा. So we cannot push a person कि भाई there is conjunctivitis happening. Why didn't you buy this? No, the other way around is, we can actually send, we would definitely send notifications, and healthy notification, I would say, in other words, key, like, this is something that is happening in Hyderabad. We wish you to take care of yourself, be safe, and worst case scenario, if you get infected, don't worry, we got you covered, something like that. But we cannot tell anybody, bye, it's coming, take this medicine. We cannot
Yeah.
sell them. We're gonna sell them indirectly.
So the reason I have highlighted, because most of, personally, if you ask me, Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, Big Basket, you name a platform, आपने अभी लंच कर लिया, स्विगी का एक पप से नोटिफिकेशन आता है, hey, are you craving for the ice cream? Why?
Yeah.
Because you might have eaten some way or sometime. Hey, now it's 4 o'clock, snack time, let's have a tea. There's
Yeah.
another notification. So, and of course, human being as a, we tend to behave it. अभी नहीं खरीदेंगे, maybe we end up buying maybe later, but that's a business. And no matter what, even
Medicine industry.
com- companies like Facebook, WhatsApp, when they compromise similar rights, and there are multiple instances when they have also compromised with it. And there is a major business, especially आप जिस इंडस्ट्री में डील करते हो सर, आपका बिजनेस धंधा हो सकता है इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के साथ, आपका धंधा हो सकता है फार्मास्यूटिकल, आपका धंधा हो सकता है हॉस्पिटल. आपके धंधे की जो वैल्यू चेन है बहुत बड़ी है.
Yes,
जिनको आप
we actually partnered with a lot of hospitals. We have tied up recently with 6 hospitals in a district in Hyderabad. We're going to announce soon.
So the reason मेरा सवाल इसीलिए था क्योंकि आपका जो पूरा एरिया है with respect to business, it's massive, but at the same time how ethical you are is something that probably is that you got to decide, of course.
Yeah, I would say, as I mentioned, Aki, I am here because even if I, worst case scenario, ऐसा ना हो कभी किसी के साथ, कि even if I want to play unethical, the max I can, or anybody in the industry, in the pharmaceutical industry, if they are playing unethical, at the max 6 months to 1 year is what they can make money. क्योंकि the people you're serving and the industry you're serving, definitely there is some kind of a regulation you're going to get stuck. I would say, 5 years ago there was a scam of 300 crores out of Hyderabad that actually imported cough syrups to West Bengal, to Bangladesh via West Bengal. It went to the CID. My father-in-law is an ex-CID officer into crime branch, so that's how I got to know. So they made 300 crores in 6 months. And those people, I know them personally. After that, they were into the pharmaceutical business for the last 40 years. 40 साल से उनके फादर, उनका बेटा और उनका पोतरा जो बिजनेस बनाए, with that one specific mistake, it's gone.
Okay.
And of course, एक बंदा भी अगर गलती करता है, end of the day, our government might be a little slow, but they are there. They actually start running, checks करो, raid मारो, authenticate करो, bills check करो, कहाँ से खरीद रहे हो, कहाँ बेच रहे हो. They start fetching it. And maybe 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, but they will definitely catch you. So unethical करना है, it's like a gamble. And I am here to make sure, like, I am, dominating the medicine industry at least for the next 1 decade. उसके बाद जिंदा रहे तो देखेंगे.
Of course जिंदा रहोगे सर, because ये इंडस्ट्री बहुत क्रिटिकल है and we need folks like you. Because दो मेरा क्वेश्चन ऑफ कोर्स ये था पहला कि इंडिया में इतना बड़ा फार्मेसीज का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, बट आई पर्सनली नो दैट जब जरूरत होती है तो बहुत सारे मेडिसिन मुझे भी नहीं मिलते. And it's a hard truth, that when I myself have been going through, and a family member that I personally have seen. In fact, I have seen in my friends network, because of not getting the access to the medicine, they have lost some. So instances are real, and the use cases are actually genuine ones, of course. So now I think मैंने काफी ज्यादा criticize किया है Medstown पे. I मैंने ये भी देखा है, you have been backed up by some of the I'll say VC fundings and all. ये एक आज के डेट में, because you have been funded by, I guess, T Hub, right? If I'm not mistaken,
We are funded by STPI. So
STPL.
we are incubated by T Hub. Yeah, AIC T Hub.
Yeah. So, anyways, funding part. The question was not from where you are backed up, but the question is with respect to the business in general. The mindset लोगों का वैसा हो गया है कि भाई हम धंधा कर रहे हैं नॉट टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम बट टू मेक मनी. एंड छोटा सा कोई एप्लीकेशन बना लो, एमवीपी बना लो, इन्वेस्टर के पास रीच आउट कर दो, एंड देन रेज द मनी, बिकम अ मिलियनियर. इज दैट व्हाट इट इज, और इज इट raising money is a real challenge? I just wanted to know from your perspective, because I myself have been ex-founder and trying to build something to solve a problem. But I know that boss fundraise करने में, I don't want to use that word, but लग जाती है. And it genuinely लग जाती है. But the same time, if I look it from somebody who is not done, they say आज के डेट में धंधा करना क्या है? कुछ बनाओ, पैसे उठाओ, बन गए आप मिलेनियर.
I would say, to answer this is it's very tough. And I would say, um, the huge credit to screw the market और आज के era के जो problem solving founders है, entrepreneurs है, उनकी जो I shouldn't say जो वाट लगी है वो लगी है in the last 1 decade. There have been so many companies who raised millions and billions of dollars, and they shut down. तो VCs जो है, एंड ऑफ द डे, इफ दे आर, उनका अगर $1 million, 8 करोड़ आज के दौर में, अगर वो 5 साल पहले $1 million बोले तो आज के दौर में 1.5 million होगा. तो it's a big money. Even though the VCs are billionaires, they still respect money. That's why they are rich. तो आई वुड से कि जो गलतियां हमारे सीनियर्स नहीं की, हमारे सीनियर्स नहीं कहूंगा, प्रीवियस फाउंडर्स या प्रीवियस जुगाड़ू एंटरप्रेन्योर्स ने की है, रेस किया है, डुबा दिया है, नॉट मेनी बट अ फ्यू, बट दे हैड ह्यूज इम्पैक्ट. तो फंड रेजिंग इज वेरी टफ अनलेस एंडली एमवीपी का टाइम गया, अब पीएमएफ का टाइम है, प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिट. So unless until you are actually making a revenue, your product is actually market fit, people are accepting it, and people are using it. VCs are very skeptical. Even an angel investor, they are little hesitant or scared. कि मैं तो एक 50 लाख लगाऊं, 1 करोड़ लगाऊं, 2 करोड़ लगाऊं, मेरा डूब ना जाए. So they're very skeptical. But I would say if आपके धंधे में दम है तो VCs बोलेंगे हम हैं.
नहीं, इनफैक्ट ये लॉजिक से ये तो खैर हर जगह एप्लीकेबल है कि आपके धंधे में दम है तो वीसी हमेशा के रहा है. सो वो एक्चुअली आई गेस समवेयर गोज एवरीवेयर एज लॉन्ग एज योर इंटेंट इज राइट. It might take some little while, but certainly if it's the question actually comes down to, boils down to, अगर आप सही में कुछ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करो तो it gets reflects. It certainly reflects.
Definitely.
Correct. So one of my second last question is, considering you yourself being into the pharma industry, you are running Medstown, and ये क्वेश्चन मैं ज्यादा पढ़ना चाहूंगा कि जब हेल्थ केयर आपके इंडिया में इतना डाइवर्स है, how do you see and what are the other area within the healthcare as an entire sector that one can explore to build a business? Because online platform is something, I don't want to call it out as a very unique, but it's a solving a problem. But what are the area that you think one can look into the within healthcare segment?
So I would say, I have been meeting multiple VCs, multiple investors, the huge number of amazing entrepreneurs, doctors, PhD surgeons in Hyderabad and around India. I should say, like, healthcare is huge. It's huge. It's very huge. It's very critical. But it's awesome. One thing I would say, the reason I'm actually a BTech guy, but the reason I came into this is because I noticed since 2008 when I passed out, when I passed out my engineering, it was a global recession. Her industry was going down, healthcare was going up. Then pandemic आया, पूरी दुनिया रुक गई, healthcare still going up. I would say
Exactly.
it's something, I would say people to please, come in, join hands, collaborate, never be a competitor. My mindset is, honestly speaking, I don't like to compete. There are many, I cannot name it, but there are many people right now in the market who are in the business for the past 5 to 10 years and want to collaborate with me because I'm open for collaborations. compete करके एक दूसरे का, जो मेरे नसीब में है, मुझे मिलेगा, आपके नसीब का आपको मिलेगा. तो a specific domain I would see is the virtual or augmented reality, which is very important because I would say I was in a conference with Dr. Riaz Khan, who is the CEO of Gleneagles Global Hospital, and Dr. Bapaya, who is a huge, amazing neurosurgeon with Care Hospitals. Care Hospitals is big. So they said, we can, operate a person, but then again, for example, if you have a kidney, okay, in front of you, it's a 2D view. You don't know what exactly is happening behind the kidney. You cannot, it's not a piece of cake कि पलटा के देख लिया लगा दिया, और ये बाइक का या कार का इंजन नहीं है, कार्बोरेटर खोला कुछ भी नहीं है, वापस लगा दो. You cannot operate it, and every nerves, in a human body is very important. You cannot play around. So I would say, if people are coming out with augmented reality, who can see, bring up a 3D or a 7D view of a specific organ in real time scenario, that must be really, really amazing. I don't know how many of you might have seen or not. A Good Doctor. There was a series on Netflix or Amazon Prime, something like that. There was an autistic kid who was blessed with a 3D or a 7D vision. If you go coughing to him, he would analyze your entire body and say, अरे इसके lung में एक कांच का टुकड़ा है so and so area में. He could actually analyze and bring up. So we need
Okay.
people. We don't need magicians. We need analytical thinkers. We need people in the Indian healthcare who can contribute uh, to a betterment of the patient. In simple words.
Correct, correct. That was exactly the question I wanted to ask, because healthcare one is if it's not industry as a one, it's actually a mix of multiple industry. जब आप हेल्थ केयर की बात करते हो, हॉस्पिटल्स आ जाता है, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स आ जाता है, रिटेल आ जाता है, इंश्योरेंस आ जाता है. सो इट्स अपने आप में एक जंगल है.
Right.
So my final question is, जो कि मैंने भी लिखा है, if you could change one thing about the healthcare landscape in India, what would be one? अब one thing तो मेरे पास, मुझे आपने indirectly बता ही दिया कि भैया regulations बहुत tight करने पड़ेंगे, and there has to be regular with respect to educating people.
Right. I would say one thing that I want to change. I actually, when I went to Guwahati last 2 weeks ago, I mentioned the same thing. Like, there's one thing that we need to change in healthcare in India is the kill the monopoly.
Okay, okay.
I know I'm in this industry for quite some time. The people who are actually here, they understand there is a monopoly. हर गेम का एक गुंडा होता है. You know that. तो हर सिटी में गुंडा है, हमारे सिटी में है, आपकी सिटी में होगा. तो
In fact, one of the irony is वो हर इंडस्ट्री में, जो established इंडस्ट्री में.
वहां का एक बंदा होगा जो वहां का बेताज बादशाह होगा. Of course, his father, his grandparents have actually earned it, but I want to kill. The reason I'm saying like I want to kill the monopoly is, there are multi-billion-dollar firms in the healthcare, and they actually don't let newcomers, or I would say new entrepreneurs or new startups, to grow. Either they kill them or they acquire them. I would say if they actually collaborate with them, it's a win-win situation. Man, you are a bloody billionaire. How much you want to take it to your grave? Let that person, make some more money, make some, because that person is unique in his own way. You know, I might be good in A. There's a person who is good in B. There's a third person who is good in C. So the more you collaborate, the more uniqueness you bring it to a specific industry, you can contribute to the industry. अगर आपको पैसे कमाना है, there are 100 ways you can make money. And if you are already a billionaire, I would say you should be big enough to accept the newcomers, accept and be their partner, guide them in many ways. So that's one thing, that actually make a big difference. Not just healthcare, any industry.
Well, as I said, मैंने भी बोला धंधा है पर गंदा है. So well, this logic applies to almost most industry. I don't want to name it. We both know, and the people, those who are, in case they are listening, they know it. And some of the names are very prominent. They don't want to let anybody to grow because, as you said, either they kill them with market with price sensitive, or they acquire them immediately.
They kill them with the regulations. They kill them with so many things.
There's so
Unka
many. There's so many.
regulation. You put them into cases, malpractices. There's so many things that can happen. But then again, they should appreciate कि हमारे धंधे में एक बंदा अगर ऊपर आ रहा है because I might have missed on something and he actually found it. तो उसके साथ मिलो, उसके साथ काम करो. There are 10 other things that guy can actually bring on the table that you are not able to do it. बंदा आप कितना यूनिक हो गए यार. Even Elon Musk is not that creative right now.
He is not. I think somewhere it has been mistaken that boss sari company usi ka hai. Ideally, it does not happen that way. The only thing is, just because he is the face, he gets all the branding, marketing, and so on. So the reason this point is very valid. It's not only the private industry does it. In fact, the government की भी जो corporate industry, they do it very often. जहाँ पे वो new players को जमने ही नहीं देती. They then kill them then and there. And the government is the government. They can play it around in multifold.
So that is one thing, I actually thought of Kyunki. That is why I partnered with the government of India. That is why I partnered with the government of Telangana. कि अगर मेरा कोई competitor आए और government को complain करे, तो I would say मेरी company में X% government का है. If I am wrong, the government is wrong. That's one thing I outsmart. I wouldn't say outsmart. I actually thought of strategically and things worked out, honestly.
And of course, that also adds the credibility. So there's no second way to look at it. So currently, you are only in Hyderabad, is it?
Yeah, we are in Hyderabad. We are moving. We are in Tier 1 city in Hyderabad. In Telangana, we are soon moving to Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities also. And yeah, hopefully we should grow and scale in other cities in the next 6 to 12 months.
Perfect, Syed. All the very best because this ये बड़ा candid conversation था जहाँ पे मतलब इतने bluntly मैं पूछता नहीं हूँ but considering it's a pharma industry I know it's very highly regulated. I know there are a lot of malpractice and the reason those were some of the harsh, I'll not say hard question, but those were very blunt questions.
It's reality, man. And trust me, I am not a formal guy. I like answering blunt. I like questions which are blunt. And I am a very crisp person, I'm like, even with the directors, I'm like, nahi bhai, tu galat hai, to galat hai. Ye sahi hai, to sahi hai. So I appreciate, your time. The questions you asked were really, really amazing. I've been to, other interviews and podcasts, but this was like very candid, I must say. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kamal,
Perfect, Syed. Thank you so much for your time, rather. It was good.
Okay, man.
Good talking
Thank
to
you so
you.
much. Good day. See you.